I'm here again today with Troy Thomas from Paramount Tax and Accounting. Thank you for joining me, Troy. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
All right, so we were just talking and I said, wait. I have to stop and record this. So you guys should know, Troy's also my CPA, right? So he has helped me so much. And my husband, we have multiple businesses together. And one of the things I was talking about with Troy was how people sometimes forget that when they're looking at that item 7 and they're starting to figure out their expenses in the business, they're not taking into account the fact that if they're getting a loan, there's going to be a loan payment there. And Troy started talking about that, but then Troy also, I think you said something really important. There's an operational business plan, and then there's a financial business plan. So from an accounting perspective, can you just give us some feedback, some tips, some Troy wisdom about the difference and what we should be thinking about as we're just fresh new business owners?
Sure. A lot of times business owners, people that get into a new business, buying a franchise is very exciting. And the FTD does a great job for any franchise of laying out the path to get in, to get open, to get trained, and to get operational. And those plans, the working document, the playbook that you will from a franchisor is going to outline your operational plan to get open and be operating, usually within your first year of the business. And then you go through a reassessment and look at, okay, I made it this far, and now what? Where do I take the business from here? But there's an equally important part of it that oftentimes gets missed, and it's the financial plan of how am I going to open the business, get it running, make reinvestments in the business as I need for growth. That's the financial part of this that you don't get all the picture of in item 7. Item 7 does a great job of laying out your expected expenses. It has a pretty large range in most franchise agreements, documents rather. So you have to figure out, where am I going to fit in this? How much am I going to do in any one of these line items, let alone what's next? Okay, right. So putting together a financial plan is like getting a CFO into your business right away and saying, okay, where is my cash coming from? What is my cash expectation in the first 30 days, 90 days, 120 days, 6 months, a year? Where do I need to reinvest? When can I take profits out? How does that debt service come into play? I get 3 or 6 months or 9 months where I'm not making a payment, but then it kicks in. So what level of revenue do I need to be at? Where are my expenses? How do some of the agreements that I have in place, where do they kick in? When do I start drawing a salary out of this? And how much salary should I be taking for keeping the business operational? The working capital, where does that run? When do I run out of that? And so how do I build my expectations of sales for this? Those are very big questions that are all part of your financial plan that you need to put together in looking at a business.
Absolutely. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I am getting to the point where a lot of times I'm introducing you at different steps in the process. And so I appreciate you sharing that. And I mean, I think for us and just Welco family, and those of you that are watching, we've been business owners for 20 years. So one of the things you're searching for as a business owner is a Troy CPA. And we get the question all the time. I don't necessarily, and I used to say this all the time, I don't need a bookkeeper. I don't need someone just to enter the information. I need someone to advise me on what to do with what's happening in my business. Remember, guys, my background, I was a dental hygienist, right? Yes, I ran a business. Yes, I learned it through the hard knocks type of thing. But having a CPA, Troy, truly has already changed the direction of our businesses and what we consider buying in the future because of that conversation. The fact that you need to look at different tiers of where you're at in that business ownership. And so just sincerely, thank you.
No problem. Glad to help.